Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, December 3rd, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a reverse aging health call tonight at 9 p.m. The universe has a plan for you. It is divine. It is magnificent. It is your soul's plan as well. Would you like to know it? It will be fully revealed to you the moment you let go of everything in your life and experience your true self in each moment as unbounded and infinite. I think that the majority of us know that there are no accidents or coincidences in this world. Nothing is by chance. Everything each of us are experiencing is a direct manifestation of where we are focusing our energy, attention, and consciousness. The more you can relax into this deep love and stillness, the easier it becomes to manifest your dreams. You can relax even deeper into the divine. You are the pulsing heart of the emptiness, the mountain strength of the vastness. Pam Wilson. Through the course of a lifetime, we all seem to get pulled into this feeling of falling off the path. When the frail, egoic human persona takes over, we tend to get wrapped up in identifying ourselves as small, limited, powerless, time-bound beings who are temporarily imprisoned in a physical human form. The human experience can hypnotize us into believing that we are lost, poor, insecure, unhappy, or simply off track. The good news is that the truth is always much bigger than the mind can fathom. Whenever we perceive life to be some random, challenging, confusing experience, take an afternoon to digest these 5 secrets that I'm going to share with you. They'll open up the inner avenues of connection so you reestablish a heartfelt relationship with your spiritual essence and soon discover the all-powerful, magical manifestation being that each and every one of us truly are again. First step to opening the doorway to meeting your sacred soul starts with feeling into your basic core nature. Who are you at the very innermost core level? You are a super powerful divine being. And exploring this exposes you to become the highest authority of your reality in your life. Where you decide what is real and what is not. You are the one who is constantly seeing, believing, and perceiving the reality you think is true. The mind is always right about what it believes is real. It's never wrong about what direction it's thinking and believing. Even if you fall off the deep end and believe 1 + 2 = 4, the mind will be very righteous about that. And I've met, maybe you have too, people like this, or know people like this. The mind is all coiled up in an old habit of making up fantastic stories about who and what you are and are not. When this mind drops, you drop into your core basic nature, mindless, still, and free from all thought. The mind will still try to say that you are not enough of this and too much of that. Do not listen to the mind. Listen to your heart instead. There is an unlimited field of loving, sweet energy in your heart, which is the doorway to having a full body, deeply healing spiritual awakening experience. A second step to revealing your soul is found within this space and time continuum. Where would the soul reside if it was simply resting and relaxing at the center of you? Where specifically and exactly is the core of you? When you look within yourself, where in space and time is the very center of this thing called you? When you find it, rest for many hours in the space. You'll discover that you are pure, powerful, perfect, sweet, complete consciousness. You are the source of divine perfection. Every single one of us are. The more we can relax into our center, the easier it becomes to realize there never, ever was anything wrong with any of us. That was all just a big, fancy show of the mind, fabricating new stories again. Our souls are beyond the mind. It is the never, ever present, eternal witness at the core essence of each of us, and is always there, always available, and ready to be explored. This is the inner journey everyone is seeking. It's the one that can take lifetimes to discover. And until we find it, we cannot know deep, everlasting peace. But don't worry. It is predestined that we will find our souls. The spiritual stream of sacredness follows us wherever we go. There are no mistakes anywhere at any time. What appears to be wrong is simply our own false imagination. Robert Adams. When we can really relax deep down into the core of our being, the eyes of the soul begin seeing through us. We can perceive the universal spiritual path within the mundane and understand how it's truly impossible to screw up this life. When we relax, we begin to truly trust this life. We can feel like we have an infinite amount of time, energy, resources, creativity, and knowledge to get it right. Only in a very deep relaxation can we surrender enough to bathe in our soul's true eternal essence. The ego and mind are set on the back burner. There is no second guessing about if we have arrived in the parking lot of our soul or not. It is so obvious, it's like the difference between knowing the sun is shining or not. There is only this pure feeling of knowing and getting that we are all unlimited, unbounded, perfect beings connected in each moment to an infinite stream of consciousness, intelligent energy. The soul makes us wake up, realize that we can do the impossible. Its energy is so powerful, eternal, and cannot be changed. The more we relax into this understanding, the more we stop fighting with our mind and its list of unfulfilled desires. We simply give up following our thoughts blindly around and begin relaxing beneath them into the quiet solitude underneath the mind, which makes everything in life more interesting and less challenging than it needs to be. Third step is to unveiling your spiritual amazingness is in the practice of a thing called trust. The universe is always protecting each and every one of us, helping us, serving our highest good. It has never abandoned any of us and is always here assisting us to blaze through our challenges and find our greatest possible joy in life. When we trust in this process, everything changes in our perception and reality. The universe is conspiring in our favor. It wants what you want. Be a pronoiac, not a paranoiac. Just notice that it feels like what it feels like to sit back and relax into the feeling of trusting in the universe and knowing it is guiding you. When we practice the trust vibe, we can listen easily to the subtle hints from the universe. We know our life purpose and spiritual direction, and we stop ignoring it. The trusting signs are there. Just look for them. Take heed and stop getting in the way of your highest possibility. It is in trusting this universe that we can give ourselves permission to manifest the most amazing, miraculous lives we could ever imagine. We actually get what we truly want through trusting. We stop settling for a fear-based, rushed lifestyle that we don't really desire. So I invite you right now to take time to settle yourself in the energy of trust right now. Breathe it into your body. Feel it inside your heart. Practice this one all day long, all night long. Notice how good this feels. See if you can notice how many ways the universe is guiding, assisting, and protecting you in the next 48 hours. It is an amazing feeling when you can remain in the state of trust all week long, as it is this energy which opens the door to let your soul's full presence to come flying through. The fourth step to discovering your soul comes from recognizing and letting go of your fears. Take the time when you're in the grocery line to find out what you're truly afraid of in this life. Look deep inside and face whatever old dark demons are inside you. They are not. They are just you hiding from your own soul. Your fears are not meant to haunt you and stay with you forever. This is not their purpose. If you are not facing your fears every day, then they are not fully serving you. You're meant to work with fear, push up against it, so that you expand your sense of self and grow beyond it. Release your attachments to what the fear thought, to what the fear means, and realize each one is merely a ridiculous and misguided thought. Give yourself fully over to being a fearless human being. By facing every fear that arises, you get to know your true warrior self as an all-loving, all-powerful, fearless, multidimensional, spiritual being with unlimited potentiality. Who knew the darkness would lead us to the light? And with just a little exploration, our daily journey home becomes a very sacred healing process. Only you can say where the road goes. Only you. Everyone sets their goals for the hour, for the relationship, and for every phase of this life. L. Ron Hubbard. The fifth step to uncovering your sparkling, bright soul comes from retraining your brain to be alert and remain focused only on that which you truly desire. What do you want in this life? What you want wants you to have it. And when you can keep your mind focusing on what you want and off of what you don't want, the most amazing things will manifest in your presence. Nobody wants to hear what's on your long list of complaints. But your kingdom of don't wants, put them up for sale. Put your kingdom of don't wants up for sale. Recalibrate your mind to meditate on what you do desire. What are those things that make your heart sing, truly? The simple refocusing of the mind on what you want in this life is incredibly powerful and transformative. Once the mind comes around to the conclusion that as long as it is focusing on what it doesn't want, it's never going to be happy. Then it starts to rely more on pure awareness to liberate it. The mind is already deeply trained and programmed to rewind and replay the same 60,000 plus thoughts it had yesterday. It doesn't like to deviate from the norm. Yet when you redirect it to remain focused on what you want to think about all day long, your soul peeks through and opens everything up, like a flower, meeting the first morning rays of sunshine. You come to feel the amazing warmth that is inside your being. This is the day you truly know your soul intimately, and it will show everyone in the most natural, unassuming ways the all-powerful, deeply eternal loving being all of us already are. Don't waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Trust life. Trust God. If you trust, only then can you drop your knowledge. Only then can you put your mind aside. And with trust, something immense opens up. Then this life is no longer ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing. Osho. It's all about deciding, committing to oneself. That's all. It has nothing to do, literally, about anything outside of you. It's basically saying to yourself, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to stay inside. I'm going to stay inside with the God that I am. I'm going to stay inside and I'm going to practice staying inside. Everything that I've ever wanted or ever desired, anything that I have sought as far as knowledges, experiences, is within me. When I pray to the God that I am. When I ask for things, I ask the universe to send them to me. It's that simple. I trust implicitly in the universe 24/7. I trust implicitly in the God that I am. I have no doubts and no fears about any of it. It comes to me. We've all been taught that you're supposed to go to it. Sure action to show the universe that you're sincere, genuine of what you want. Depending on the opportunities the universe sends your way to have or acquire what you want. And everybody, all of us, we're all manifesting beings. We manifest a stubbed toe. We manifest a cut, a scrape on the knee. You know, we manifest anger. We manifest sadness. We manifest happiness. We manifest bliss. Every single thing, you are the power of all of it. You're the center of all of it. And it's all challenging and teaching us in many different areas. When you're angry, you know what you attract. You learn that when you're angry, your vibrational frequency is low. So that when you increase it through being grateful and deep gratitude, your frequency changes instantaneously. And we all know what it's like to be angry and the aftermath of it and how long it takes us to recover from it. And most of the time we're angry with ourselves, thinking that we're angry at others when actually it's ourselves. So we broadcast our anger towards others. And that's what happens. You could be in a relationship, a spouse, and you get in a conflict, right? And you can't figure out, how did that happen? And the conflict is basically about that person who extended that anger for no apparent reason. Have you ever noticed that you're walking through the day during doing your everyday things, and you can get irritated or angry at the drop of the hat with somebody or something. You don't know why. You don't stop and say, wait a minute here. Why should I be angry about anything? Why am I not in deep gratitude for everything? These are questions that you could be constantly asking yourself questions. And you ever notice that, and it's not, you get to the point where you start understanding that wanting, right? You want something. Then you get it, but it doesn't last long. the gratefulness, the thankfulness, the pleasure doesn't last long, does it? And then you find yourself wanting something else. It's like, well, if you had enough money, would you buy 3 houses? How could you live in all 3 houses? You couldn't. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do, relax the bodies we are in. Head to toe, inside down. How do you do that? Naturally. Let go. Let go of all the stuff. We all hang on to stuff. And we don't really look at it that way. We just have stuff. You know? You kind of look at your subconscious mind as a garage that's overstuffed with stuff. And you fill that garage to the point where you can't get any more in it, and you keep getting stuff. And then sometimes then you say to yourself, well, I need a bigger space so I can put more stuff. So then you get a bigger space and you start putting more stuff. Now, you don't remove the stuff or sell the stuff or get rid of the stuff that you already have in the garage. You just get a bigger garage and keep adding more stuff. Or a basement, bigger basement, adding more stuff. And then once in a while you go through the stuff, and some of the stuff you've never used. And that's like your subconscious mind. It gets filled up because it's been filled up since you were a baby. And that baby body grows, and everything around you is stored in that subconscious mind. Even past lives are stored in that subconscious mind. So there's a lot of stuff there. And in order to free yourself, you got to alleviate the stuff so new stuff can come in. New frequencies, new energies, new happiness. Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried to put one more piece of stuff in an already cram-packed space? Doesn't work good, does it? You know, it's just not going to give. There's just too much stuff in there. So what happens when that happens? It all passes by because the subconscious mind is so filled with stuff. It's filled with negative stuff. It's filled with good stuff. It's filled with not so good stuff. And this is where we understand is that we have to let go. You let go of the pain, the sorrow, the anguish, the frustration, the anger. I've seen people carry anger so it twists them through life. It twists them. And they don't know it. And they're totally oblivious to it. They become very defensive. They become very argumentative, very, very, very argumentative. And when you try to give them an opening of light, they refuse it because they're so twisted inside. They carry so much hate, anger, fear, worry. And this is all teaching us. Because every single one of us teach each other. We're learning all the time. People that think they know everything are the ones that are the most lost. Mind and ego has convinced them that they know everything. And if we knew everything, we wouldn't need to be in these bodies. We really wouldn't, because we would know everything. Wouldn't that be boring to know everything? That'd be fun at first, but it'd get old. I already know this, so it's not a challenge to me. I know this too, it's not a challenge to me. I know how this works, that works, this works, that works, it's not a challenge to me. So you take all of that stuff that you've been carrying around for a very long time, and you begin to drop it off. You know, you could be standing in front of a burning bucket, 55-gallon drum, and it's burning inside, and you take out all the stuff that why would I carry this my whole life? Why would I carry fear, anger, stress, anxiety, anger, hatred? That doesn't do me any good. It just keeps me in a low ebb, a low frequency. And then you wonder why your life is so in disarray at times. So you just take it, you dump it in the drum, and burn it. And then watch, and then say goodbye to the smoke that goes up into the sky, never to be seen again. Here's a fear. What is this fear? Review the fear. And you don't need it because it disappears. There's other things that you haven't faced that you'll face. And eventually, you don't have any stuff anymore. The space is completely clean, pristine, and empty. Then you're aware of what stuff you're going to put in there now. Good stuff, positive stuff, enlightening stuff. Big difference. Huge difference. When we relax these bodies, it's all about getting rid of the stuff, facing it, reviewing it, and letting it go. And the more you let go, the lighter the body becomes, because the body's like a super magnet. It picks up everything, and it stores it in the subconscious mind. And most of the stuff in the subconscious mind isn't even ours. It's other people's thoughts, not our thoughts. And remember, when you have a thought, when you generate a thought, it goes out to the universe. It doesn't come in, it goes out. Coming in thoughts are programmed thoughts that aren't ours. And you get really good at it, and you'll be able to identify facts. That's not my thought. And it just vanishes. It's just poof, gone. When you identify it's not my thought. Or when you say, that's the ego. Because you'll have certain thoughts, right, that the mind interjects in there, and you'll know immediately through the heart mind, that's the ego. And it disappears. And it's all about relaxing, staying relaxed. We could stay relaxed 24/7 if we chose to, if we knew how to. A lot of people don't know how to. They think that by consuming artificial things is going to relax them. That's artificial relaxation. Now, as the body begins to float, you're focused on your breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. You're in the now. Body's relaxed, floating, you're in the now. And now really is all we have. No matter what that ego mind, right, tries to convince you of, oh no, go in the past, go in the future. There's no such thing as a now. Now is the only place to be. It's all we have. We cherish and relish every single moment that we're in the now. We're in deep gratitude for whatever in the now. Now, we can't be in deep gratitude from the past because the past is gone. Doesn't exist. And the future hasn't even been constructed yet. So we're in the now. We don't know right in this very moment how many of us will be here tomorrow in these bodies. We don't know. That's why we're always in gratitude for every single moment in the now. That's why we don't project 10 years from now, 5 years from now, a year from now, months from now. And it is a fine line. But we don't project. This is what I want to do and what I want to be doing 5 years from now. Because you don't know if you'll be in that body 5 years from now. You don't even know if you'll be in it a minute from now. And that is the evil mind will try to create fear. It will. It'll create fear. And people say, I don't want to think about that. When they say I don't want, they're going to get. And it's tough to break the habit because a lot of us will say, I don't want this. I don't want that to happen. But when we say to ourselves, I don't care to have that occur, big difference, then it won't. Because the universe is sitting there intensely. And everything that you intend is going to come to you. even the things you don't want. So you change your vibrational frequency. I don't care to have this occur. Focusing and staying in the now is absolutely omnipotently powerful. It alleviates the mind chatter that we all have. It alleviates all of these tens of millions of programmed thoughts floating by us, most of the time, which aren't ours. They're not our thoughts. And when you really review it, thoughts are what? They're just thoughts. And we're so powerful, we take a thought, we create it we move it, we create it. We move the energy into reality. We create it into reality. And then we experience it. And all along, we're the ones doing it. Nobody else is doing it. We are. It's like, you're with some people, there's some friends, and, remember when you're kids, and you say, well, I'm going to try and dart across this highway. I dare you. Remember? I dare you. I dare you. I bet you can't make it across the highway. You'll have to stop because of the traffic. And so a group of them start running across the highway. Now, some made the decision to do that, right? They didn't have to do it. But, being concerned about what others think of you is the ego mind. So they try to run across. They try to dash across that highway. And some don't make it. Some are taken out by cars and vehicles. But they decided to do that, didn't they? So they created that instance. They created that happening for themselves. Or you're going to a place, or you're going to go visit somewhere, and you go there a lot, and you usually take a certain route, right? And then all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, you get this thought that says, why don't we try a different route? And so you try a different route for the very first time, and you get in an accident. Who decided to take that route? You did. Who decided to get injured? You did. No one else. You created it. So that's why it's to be very mindful of our thoughts. Really, really mindful. So we know that a lot of these thoughts they're not ours. They're not ours. But we manifest them. We create them into reality. And once the civilization realizes that everything that happens to it, it does it to itself. Everything. This isn't about being angry or embarrassed with oneself that, we created all this turmoil and everything. You know what it's about? It's about understanding who and what you are and eliminating the low frequencies that you set out there to create whatever it is that's happening in your life. Now, we know we're not the body. We know we're not the character, not the personality, not the belongings. We know we're not our name. We're the God within the body. We're the God, not the body. So we can look at the body and we can see 7 lights, all different colors, very deep and vibrant colored lights. And what are those lights? They're known as chakras. What does the word chakra mean? Wheels. These are wheels of light. And they're etheric spiritual energies. We, the gods that we are etheric spiritual energies. We flow through these. And that connects us to all of the emotions, organs, character, personality, everything that these bodies are. We flow through them. We know as the gods that we are, we know everything there is to know about these bodies that we inhabit. The flow of the blood, the energy levels, down to the quantum core, emotions, spheres and insecurities, everything. So doesn't it make sense that the day will come, and it will come, for this civilization, that we will discover that we're the power of healing, amongst many other things. Do we be able to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye? Without issue. without challenge. We are equipped with so many wonderful powers, and yet we don't know it. We're totally oblivious to it because of lack of trust in ourselves, in the gods that we are, in the universe. We also know that we are consciously aware. What does consciously aware mean? We are consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love and gratitude. Because we know who and what we are to a certain extent. Now, all of us are parts of each other, not the body, but the soul, the God. We are all one. So we're different versions and parts and facets and aspects. So we literally call out to all of those who are consciously aware. Of course, we also have those that are not consciously aware that are parts of ourselves, that are always with us because they're parts of us, but they don't participate because they are literally dead asleep. And time will wake them, and then they'll start participating. Now, if you look and you understand that you're on a path, we're all on paths, right? And in front of us there's 3 paths, and they're beautiful. This emerald green grass, this golden kind of a halo of trees and leaves. They're all golden and shimmering. The air seems almost golden-like. And the one on the left is the past, and it looks really worn. And the one on the right is the future, and it looks really worn. But the one in the center, which is the now, looks like it's hardly ever been used. So we go to the left. You go to the left, right? We reminisce. You know, we have nostalgia. We have experiences that we've experienced through this life, and we visit them, and it's fun. And that's where it's in the subconscious mind. So we'll go in that library, and we'll read a little bit, and we'll reminisce, and then we'll leave. But see, some of us, I don't believe that it's knowingly, but we'll go in that past, and we'll stay there. We'll stay there so long that we'll bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We'll create that future from that past, and we will relive that past and that future. This is why so many people will say no matter what we do, for some strange reason, we always end up here. Now, others of us, we'll go in the future. We all do this. You know, we'll go in the future, go in the past, reminisce, go in the future. And in the future that doesn't exist because we create the future in the now. So we'll go out and we'll say, when am I going to have this? When is this going to happen for me? You know, when am I going to be the love of my life? When am I going to be healthy enough to enjoy my life? And we do this. But we're asking outside of ourselves, see? And we never get an answer when that happens. But when you go within, you get all the answers you require. Increase your vibrational frequency. Discover the God that you are within. Stay with that God. Have total 150,000% trust in the universe and the God that you are. And everything will shift. Now, we reach out to parts of ourselves, which are all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundancia, Pel, Thoth, Yeshua. This is all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. This is all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime, in all lifetimes that we've inhabited. This is all the off-worlders, the galactics, and the celestials. All light energy beings, of which, because of the eyes we have with these biological life forms, we only see 1% of what is. But we are familiar with a small group, because most of them in all the different light spectrums we don't see. This small group is the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. And we interact with some of those on a daily basis. In fact, these bodies rely on interacting with them. Water, air, soil, wood. Most of the dwellings that you inhabit yourself in have some form of wood, don't they? Could we sustain ourselves without water, these bodies? Could these bodies survive without water? No. Could they survive without food? No. What about air? No. So we have an intimate relationship with some of the magics, the elementals. All of us do. That's when you're in deep gratitude, even more so for them. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. And that's why we don't see them like we see each other. Busy street, we see each other, right? But sometimes archangels look like us, and they walk by and they'll make a comment. Doesn't mean you have to know them. Other times they'll appear to help you, and then they disappear. Other times you meet them in conversation out of the clear blue, and it really doesn't dawn on you until after the conversation. You say, that was an angel. And they all have the same message. They just have delivered it in so many different ways. And it comes down to this. Isn't it absolutely magna glorious, stupendous, spectacular to be alive in these bodies? Because when we're not in these bodies, we don't eat, we don't taste, we don't touch, we don't feel, we don't laugh, we don't cry. See, it's a big difference. Huge. This is why we get so seduced with wanting to be in these bodies. Because it can get addictive. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time. Tens of thousands, tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And when that happens, you're in bliss. Now, the ascended masters, they've ascended into physical and have mastered physical. They ascended out of physical, they hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical. We are in the process of mastering physical, and we are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. The off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, we're only familiar with a small group of them. Over 1,000 species travel through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. In this small group, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid Avian. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, and great abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we continue to intensify and continue to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every one of us, the God source, the kingdom of God, however you want to label it, of who and what we truly are, all of us. This light is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brilliance. And this is the deepest, the highest, the purest of eternal love. And we're flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, and on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Non-stop. Infinity. So we begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. And it is so spectacular because it's everywhere. And it's kind of like a grand finale fireworks show, a massive laser light show, and a huge mirrored ballroom globe show. Except this globe is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. You put all that together, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It's magnificent. So we're curious, so we go to the source of reflection. And we notice these little microscopic, tiny etched mirrors. So we go in, and we discover that all of us, hundreds of millions of us, into the Googleplexes, are teaching and learning from each other. We're either teaching or learning or teaching, or both. Always. We are never not. But when we're so distracted to a material, physical world that we created to entertain ourselves, we don't notice. We don't take heed. How many of us have actually sat and looked at a squirrel and said, what is this squirrel teaching me? What am I learning from it, and what's it learning from me? Maybe it wants something to eat. You give it something to eat. It's teaching you to give. It's also teaching you how to be in deep gratitude. I mean, this goes on. It's fascinating. There is no way that any of us should ever be bored with these lives that we have. Could be a bug in a rug, a fly on the wall. Could be anything. Could be a horse in the field, a cow in the barn, a spider making a web. This is how we progress in these lives, learning from other forms of life. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind ourselves, each other, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, we are protected with a white fire armor. This is nothing like armor on this planet. It is way beyond that. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be breached. It cannot be penetrated from any force outside of it. This means no demon possession, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, because they can't withstand the high frequency. They can't. They'll vaporize, so they stay away. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, worry, hurriedness, revenge, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then demon possession attachments are very possible. Now, if you do decide to do this, you are immediately met with a double column of light. First part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are literally no more. The second part of the column is the violet ray. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest, and the purest of the purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink column of light. We created this to remind us all, the gods that we are the sun, the sunlight, the sunset, the sunrise. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the oceans. We are the trees, the forest. We are the soils, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. The skies, the clouds, the mountains. So the next time you're viewing something like that, starry lit night sky, a sunset or a sunrise, it is you. It is each and every one of us. We're the majesty, the gods that we are. We're the beauty. We're the divineness. We're the peace. So you would view sunset, and you would say, that is the God that I am. This is an ego. This is truth through the heart-mind. This is understanding that. And all of us are heading to that understanding. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above them if we're carrying physical form. And why do we do this? Well, because we can. All of us can. We choose. We come into full contact with this massive crystal light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere sits this golden white bowl of light. And it is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. And we notice that they're all sending this massive cloud mist. It looks like it's electric and sparkling. And it's absorbed right into the God core that we are. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. And we learned that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, purest of the purest, eternal love. And then comes gratitude. And then comes gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, well-being, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. And when we discover that this is all a reflection of who and what we are. Now, at the top of the column, we design it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, unending. And what's the golden ocean? It's the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, purest of the purest, eternal love. It's what we're made of. And we're all drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. And all of us, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, is being bathed, saturated, and flooded with it 24/7, never ending. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean, and the only illusion is separation. See, our meditative sphere at set center circle, we created this sphere almost 4 years ago. It houses nearly 1,700 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations don't die out. They don't weaken and disappear. They do the opposite. They intensify. And they continue to intensify. And they continue to expand. And we're being bathed in them all the time, 24/7. You can tap into it anytime you want. Go someplace quiet, sit, focus on your breath, close your eyes, and listen. You'll be there. You'll be in the now. Do you imagine all of this flooding us all the time? And then we have literally gigaplexes of light energy beings, consciously aware, focused everything on this planet for its complete liberation. You want to tap into that? It's very easy. Find someplace quiet, focus on your breath, and listen. Close your eyes. As we continue to increase our vibrational frequencies, where is the dark going to hide? Where is it going to hide? Can it sustain itself? All the great enlightened beings of this world became that way because they deeply understood one basic thing: their eternal connection to a divine source is and who they really are. Take a few minutes to give yourself permission to understand this for yourselves. We are all enlightened beings waiting to realize it right now. I join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Certain negative events will always happen to you to cause you to take a glimpse at a bigger reality. If you can look at them with eyes wide open, you'll always notice one thing. You actually created these challenging and frightening events to give you an experience of coming home. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here tonight at 9 p.m. for the Reverse Aging Health Call. And I have a special announcement that I will make then. And tomorrow, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.